Well, my name is Mercy Kainowisho, and I serve my country as the Registrar General, the Official Receiver, the CEO, Accounting Officer at Uganda Registration Services Bureau. Intellectual property is a space that has not been appreciated by many, and yet it touches every sector of the economy. It touches everybody because it relates to works that are a result of a creative mind, from technological solutions to designs to shapes to sounds to processes to products to books to musical works. It is all everywhere, all encompassing. And so, yes, we've zeroed down to copyright. Copyright is one of the branches of intellectual property, and it's the biggest because it looks at literary, artistic, and scientific works. And it has the most stakeholders: musicians, performers, artists, playwrights, authors, film actors, cinematographics, the media, all these content creators, influencers, and so on. And currently we're using the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Law 2006, which replaced a 1964 law, the Copyright Act. And we are actually amending this one to suit the international obligations that we have as Uganda, because we ratified a number of international instruments, protocols and agreements, including treaties that relate to protection of copyright that are run by the World Intellectual Property Organization, and even some model laws that relate to copyright that are run and governed by the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization. And in order to comply internationally, we have ratified most of those laws, including even access to protected intellectual property, especially materials, by the visually impaired persons or print disabled. We otherwise called blind. We don't use blind anymore, but we say print disabled or the visual impaired persons as well, to access these materials for free without breaching any licenses. The other improvement was online enforcement, because we used to physical enforcement. Somebody infringes your music, you get the CDs, the gadgets that are being used to play this music or movie. But when it gets online, somebody playing it, using it on their YouTube or Facebook or other social media spaces, it would be difficult unless you get a court order for takedown, seize and desist and so on. So we had to get into sign an instrument and ratify the same, so that it enables Uganda to also ably enforce online. And now we are into the domestication process. We started the process of amendment in as early as 2013. The challenge has been on the knowledge gap, that the people that know, the knowledge gap between the people that know and those that do not. That even when you're trying to communicate, are you speaking the language of this person? Have you simplified it? Because already the technical language in intellectual property, and specifically copyright law, is so hard. So if you do not simplify it to the lowest to understand, it will be very difficult. So we have made it intentional through our communication strategy as URSB to engage everyone, to translate all these laws into the language, common languages. We have simplified brochures that we have put in many languages. We have simplified the processes by putting many of them online, but also going to regional spaces, regional offices. We have opened regional offices. We are in different municipalities of this country. We have done a stakeholder partnership. We have partnered with the local communities, the Ministry of Local Government, with the cities, with the licensing agencies, to enable us have a holistic approach to these issues, because what does an ordinary person want? They want information that is clear-cut. Coming back to copyright, we have no excuse not to benefit from these systems. We just need to continue engaging so that the players or the stakeholders understand the framework under which copyright thrives. First of all, you cannot pursue your rights as an individual, especially when you're popular and have your songs are playing, or your music is playing, or your books are flying all over. You have to belong to a collective management society that will help you collect and distribute to you. Because the role of the collective management society is a society where these different sectors belong. If you're an artist, a performer, you belong to that. You register with them, and then they can pursue the collections from different hotels, the users of your work that play your music, the different spaces, the entertainment centers, the hospitals, wherever the work is played, the taxis, the aeroplanes. Once they get your collections, they're supposed to distribute, depending also on the usage of your work. So there's also that formularities. So it's a lot of stakeholder partnership. You can't do it alone. To benefit wholly from copyright, you can't do it alone. You have to belong to this society. Then the societies will coordinate with the broadcasting organizations, with the different associations of hotels, the entertainment, to make sure they collect your fees. And of course, the different government ministries, departments and agencies, the Communication Commission, the Media Council, the DPP, the Judiciary, Uganda Registration Services Bureau, Uganda Police. Everybody has a role to play. So the pillars of a functional corporate system, or a functional system, like I mentioned, are there laws? Are there policies? Are there institutional infrastructures? Is there enforcement? And maybe collaborations along the whole network. So many pillars for that, for the success of all these systems, including the corporate system. And yes, as regulators, we cannot do it alone. Government cannot do it alone and cannot work in isolation, because it's a private sector-led economy, and we need as many players as possible. Government will do as much as regulating, registering, storing your data. We are custodians of all these registries, and enforcement, because intellectual property is private in nature. So you, the owner, has to be proactive. It's like having your own land. Your land title. I don't think there are people in this earth who will allow somebody to come and build a structure on their land, even just about trespass. They can't. Immediately they will report to police, they will get into action. So if we do not take the same mindset to the intangible asset, then nobody should trespass on my intellectual property. Nobody should trespass on my copyright, on my musical work, artistic work, on my film. That is, you will not get there. So people need to know that it is their right, and it's a private right. It's not a government right. The government comes in to register, to regulate, to enforce. But many people have misunderstood that my music, when I'm enjoying it and earning from it, you don't even talk. You don't want even government to know. You don't want even to pay the little tax. You're just in hiding. When there's an infringement, government to Yambe, government Mukolash, government, first of all, you have even not approached the regulators to guide you on how you can protect your work. There's a lot of ignorance out there, the knowledge gap, and yet accessibility, yes, in some spaces can be limited. And that is why I mentioned that we are available online, we are available on these social media platforms, we are available physically because we operate also mobile registration services wherever there's need, but we also have a coverage plan where we move from place to place. doing mobile engagements, mobile sensitization. We are on radio stations, we are on the media platforms, basically trying to educate the masses. And we have all these recorded, actually, the recordings that can be accessed by people. Before you go out for commercialization, before you go out to the market space, first make sure that you're protected. You have built the same way you protect your land by building a hedge around it, knowing the boundaries. So build a hedge around your protected work, around your created work. Build a hedge by protecting, by getting a certificate of registration from Uganda Registration Services Bureau, and then protection will come in easily. Otherwise, the infrastructure is available, the laws are available, the policy framework is good, the people, the environment of doing business is so beautiful in Uganda. So there shouldn't be any excuse.